Hey, what's up guys? So, I'm starting today's vlog kind of late. It's already like 6 in the afternoon. And I'm just going into the office. I gotta work a little bit tonight. Now, you guys might have noticed that I don't work very often. Like, at most, I probably go into the office maybe 2 or 3 times a week. And when I do go into the office, it's usually probably only like from anywhere from 2 hours to 3 hours or 4 hours. But I used to not always live like this. I used to have a regular job, and that's gonna be the topic of today's vlog. Why I quit my old job. I'm gonna go ahead and go into work and come back home and I'll let you know. Hey, what's up guys? So I just got back from work, and as I said a moment ago, the topic of today's vlog is gonna be why I quit my job. Believe it or not guys, I used to work full-time in an office. Now guys, first of all, my dream was never to be sitting in an office working full-time. I kind of just fell into it, and I was grateful for the job while I had it. But guys, you know, my true passion was playing music, and I just felt like I was kind of going to waste working in an office. Like, I wasn't able to put in the amount of time and soul into my craft that I wanted to. So for quite a while, I had this idea in my head that I was going to save up as much money as I could and then stop working for a period of time. At first, I was thinking maybe 6 months, maybe a year, but I wanted to have like some sort of time where I could focus all my attention onto like doing music. But you know, when you're working a full-time job like that and you're doing okay with money, you kind of just go through the motions. It's like you wake up in the morning, you go to work, you come home from work. And I'm sure a lot of people could relate to this. You live for the weekends, you go out and party all weekend. It's like when you get off work, you're so drained that, you know, I did at the time, I was doing my YouTube covers, and some nights I would stay up till like 2, 3 in the morning recording these YouTube covers, then wake up at 8 a.m. or 7 a.m. the next morning to go into work by 9. And like it was exhausting. Like, I couldn't do that all the time. But I enjoyed the financial freedom of being able to go out with my friends, have a good time. But I'm really glad that at that time I was able to have those kinds of experiences, to like have the financial freedom to do basically whatever I wanted. But at the same time, it wasn't a fulfilling sensation. In the back of my head, I always had that thought, I shouldn't be doing this. I should be doing music. I should be putting my energy towards something else. I need to like go after my dreams now, because I was in my early 20s, you know? And like I really felt like I was running out of time. But I had a somewhat comfortable lifestyle, and I wasn't sure when I should go ahead and make that push to just go, okay, I'm gonna do this now. I'm gonna put all my energy into music. I was almost afraid in a way. But what finally gave me the push was one of my good friends. His name's Josh. He had a band at the time, or he still has his band, but they changed their name. At the time they were called Anonymous 4, now they're called Nyby, N-Y-B-Y. He came to me and asked me one day, he's like, hey Toby, you know, I'm planning this tour with my band for this summer, and I was gonna ask you if you think you could fill in for one of their members. One of their members, their bass player, wasn't able to do the tour with them. So Josh came to me and he asked me, would you be able to fill in on bass in my band and do this West Coast tour with us? And at first I was like kind of nervous, I was kind of hesitant. I was like, oh, I don't know if I could take that much time off work. It was gonna be like a total of 10 days. I was like, I don't know if I could take that much time off work. I'm not gonna make any money those days. I was just kind of like hesitant about it. But I talked to my parents and they thought, you know, Tobias, you're in your early 20s, you're young, this is your time to like go out and do stuff like that. And I'm very grateful that my parents kind of persuaded me to do it. And like, one day my parents had some friends over, and I was talking to a family friend of ours, and he was saying, you know, Tobias, chances are that nothing in the next 2 weeks is gonna happen at your job that you're gonna remember 10 years from now. But going on a 10-day tour with your friend's band is something that you'll probably remember your entire life. And it kind of really put it into perspective for me, and I was like, okay. The next time I went into work, I told my manager, just like, hey, you know what, I want to request these 10 days off. You know, I'm going to go do this tour with my band, and I'll come back and get right back to work. She said, yeah, that's fine. So there I was set to go. But at the same time, I wasn't 100% happy with what was going on at my job. I felt very underappreciated, and there was a leak at the office. Everyone found out how much money everybody was making. It caused quite a bit of drama, and I was a bit upset when I found out that people who had less responsibility than me at work were getting paid more than me, and it was a little frustrating, and I just didn't like the way that I was being treated. The week before I left, you know, it was hectic as always at the office. My manager wanted me to finish 2 weeks of work in advance, and I was like, that's insane. Like, there's no way I'm gonna be able to finish 2 weeks of work in a week. Like, that is just crazy. There's another incident at the office where I got blamed for something that wasn't my fault, and that was kind of the last straw for me. I went to my boss and I said, you know what, I can't do it anymore. I gotta give you my 2 weeks. So that's eventually what pushed me to give my 2 weeks notice at my job. The following week, I was set to go off on my friend's band's tour. The tour started in Port Townsend in Washington, which is a very nice town. If you guys ever have the chance to go visit, I would strongly recommend it. The rest of the bandmates drove up there. I took a plane from Burbank Airport and met them up there at Port Townsend because I was still finishing work at the time. I couldn't drive up with them. There were 4 of us all together and 1 dog. And yeah, it was cool. We all traveled in a Honda Odyssey. We spent a few days up there in Port Townsend because my friend's parents lived up there. Our first show of the tour was in Seattle, Washington at a place called the Max Triangle Pub. The second date of the tour was at a place called Sirens, and that was in Port Townsend. And the third show of the tour was also in Port Townsend at a place called the Boiler Room. It was an all-ages venue. Port Townsend had a lot of really nice scenery. We did some looking around, we did some beer tasting.
Moving on. Alright, what's next?
Yeah, it was cool. They have wild deer there. They just walk around. A small radio station located in Port Townsend played one of my friend's band's songs on the radio. It was cool.
Anonymous 4. They're no longer anonymous. Alright, here goes. Can't help but playing the pawn.
Pretty cool. When she walks in, she tries to not make a sound, but
the fourth show of the tour was a place in Portland, Oregon called the Red and Black Vegan Cafe. The other band that played with us that night, we still keep in contact with them to this day. They've even played at the Scotland Yard with my band Bandits before. The fifth stop of the tour was at a place called Johnny B's, and that was in Medford, Oregon. On the way to the sixth stop of the tour, which was in San Francisco at a place called the 501 Social Lounge, we actually got a flat tire, and we barely made it to the show on time. So luckily we had a spare tire, but it wasn't a full-size spare, it was one of those like smaller ones, and you're not supposed to drive very far on them, and I think you could only drive like 50 miles per hour tops on those. So yeah, we had one of those on the car, and we went to a mechanic shop nearby in the middle of nowhere, and they had all these crazy animals, and yeah, they put a new tire on the car. But yeah, they had all these crazy animals in there. It was insane. It was so cool. But yeah, so we played our last show in San Francisco at a place called the 501 Social Lounge, and then came back, drove straight down from San Francisco to LA right after the show, and we got back here probably around 7 a.m. in the morning, and that was the end of the tour. But it was a great experience, and I'm really glad that I did it. It gave me that push that I needed to quit my job and pursue music full time. You know, I was able to finish my first Bandits EP and release that, recorded a couple singles after that, really got to concentrate on music. So instead of just going through the motions like I was, I really felt like I was living like a purpose, and I was way happier after that, you know? And once my money like started dwindling away that I had saved up that I could do that, I started working in other things, just not full time. Like right now I have this job in the law office a couple days a week, and it's okay. I'm not making nearly as much money as I used to be, but I'm able to get by, and one of the things that allows me to live this lifestyle that I have is my parents, who are nice enough to like not charge me rent. I hope they're not watching this, but yeah, not charge me rent to live here at home, and it's really helped me out. And like, I'm way happier now than I was. Like, I might not have as much money, but I'm way happier because what I'm doing now is way more fulfilling for myself. And hopefully one day I'll be able to make a living doing these things that I love. So anyways guys, that's my vlog for today. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If this is your first time seeing one of my videos, go ahead and check out the rest of my channel. I do covers, I do daily vlogs, I do reviews, yeah, all sorts of music stuff, so hit subscribe if you're interested. And if you like this video, please give me a thumbs up, that really helps me out. And before I go guys, so if any of you guys are thinking about making that jump to pursuing what you love full time with your full energy, I strongly encourage you to do it because you will be way happier. And like, you gotta start someday guys. If you wanna do what you love, you gotta start somewhere, and there's no better time than now. So be responsible with your money, stay out of debt, and you can do it. Alright, I'll talk to you tomorrow guys. Peace, good night.